Hello and welcome to another Olde Battle Reps hobby report. This time it's the first. I'm doing a top 10. Top 10 before. Everyone loves a good top 10. So these are my top 10 models I have painted. Here's the first one for you. There's a reason behind each model. There's a reason why each one was in my top 10. So I'm going to go through each model and say why. So this one's number 10. It's the Badger from Burrows and Badgers. One of the reasons he's in my top 10 is because he's just an amazing model. He looks awesome. But the main reason he's in my top 10 is it's the first time that I really highlighted really bright with, like on his cloak you can see it's quite bright. And it's the first time I used Typhus corrosion to form mud, but it's also the first time I really felt like I got highlighting a bit better. It's also the first time I kind of used a colour scheme that I'd found online. So obviously it's a badger, so I looked up what badgers look like and painted like a badger. So yeah, very simple model, beautiful to paint, dead easy actually, because the metal part of it is just bronze with a black wash and a little bit of silver highlighting. The fur is just black with a bit of grey dry brush, careful dry brush highlighting. I'll get close. I'll take some photos Jack can hopefully show. It was all about the cloak really. I feel like I nailed the cloak quite well. It was the best highlighting at the time that I'd ever done. So that's why he is my number 10. One of my favourites. Number 9 is Mercury from Gilball. Now again, great model. The reason he's in my top 10, the reason he's number 9, is because it was the first time that I painted fire quite like this, and the first time, I don't know how well it's going to come out on here, I'd done a fire kind of reflective effects on clothing. So you can see there's an orangey yellow tint to his skin and his clothes where the fire ball is, and like not on his back. First time I'd done that, and I was really pleased with the result. So he was like an experimental model. Also again, like a great model to paint. But he really helped me kind of take my painting a little bit further, which at the time I think was important. I was quite sort of stuck in my way of painting, and it made me think more carefully about what a model might look like if it was doing what it's doing on the model, which is this guy. He's got a ball of fire, so he'd look quite bright and there'd be sort of glowing colours on him. That's why he is my number 9. Get these wobbly bits. So number 8 is my Orc diorama. I made this for a DW painting competition in my local DW store. I didn't win, which is fine. But it was the first time I'd ever done a diorama. So you can't see that says "oops" on there. This Orc's accidentally summoned a load of spirits when he's supposed to be doing something else. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He looks pretty mad, to be fair. So yeah, he's in my top 10 because he's the first time I ever did a diorama. Every time I did a model that wasn't for a tabletop, first time I did a model just for the fun of painting a model. Obviously the Shaman model is a great model anyway, it does look awesome. It's got my typical blue highlighting on it, done that blue highlighting a lot of models, and the red. So I don't think that the paint job was anything particularly special, to be quite honest. But I enjoyed the experience of painting for a different sort of purpose. Just for the personal effect and for the fun of doing something to the best of my ability at the time. So he's now number 8. I'm going to go and line them up so we can see them all together afterwards. Number 7, model I painted a long time ago, my Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. So I wet the resin model. One of my favourite models from the old Chaos Warrior range anyway. I think it just looks cool. It's a really simple yet effective model. He's in my top 10. He's number 7, I think. Number 7, because it was the first time I effectively painted flesh. I used to hate painting like human flesh, and it was the first time I really felt like, oh wow, that actually looks really good. So he's in my top 10 for that. He's number 7 for that reason. The red of his scales and things are all pretty standard for me at the time. Didn't find that too difficult, but it was the skin that really found the challenge, and I think I sort of nailed it quite well. I mean, obviously there's always room for improvement, but it looked pretty good. I painted him about 4 or 5 years ago now, so yeah, and he was I hadn't painted a bigger model. He's one of the bigger models. I hadn't painted a bigger model before, so he was one of the first big models I painted as well, and he was just a lot of fun. That's why he's number 7. Number 6. First Moonstone model in this video, the fire splitter. As I said, if my fire splitter video's gone up, he's my second favourite to paint, so I wonder who was better than him. He was just so much fun to paint. He just epitomises that whimsical fantasy of Moonstone. The detail is just about spot on. There's not too much, he's not carrying loads of extra stuff he doesn't need. It's one of the things I've liked about all the Moonstone models, actually. There's just the right amount of detail on them. And he just looks a bit mad, and he's got a huge barrel full of, I assume, some kind of petrol, essentially oil on his back, that he sprays through this thing and then stupidly puts a candle to it. But, you know, it's just a great looking model. It was also the first time I'd really done some modelling. Well, I'd done modelling with green stuff before, but actually modelled something to go on a base. That was fun. Well, I need to put some tufts on his base, actually. I haven't quite done that yet. But he was just a lot of fun, actually. And I think one of the main reasons he's in this list is because he's a model that I enjoyed painting a lot. Like some of my other bigger models that I maybe painted better, I didn't necessarily enjoy as much because they became a chore. But he was never a chore to paint. He was great fun. That's why he's number 6. Number 5, first of the really big models, is my Arcan the Black. I painted it quite a while ago. At least if I can get a better view. Unfortunately, his head fell off just after doing this video, so some of the detail, the paint came off. I was trying to glue it back on again. So there's my Arcan the Black. Oops, a bit wobbly. Again, like all the models in this, I really, really love this model. Shame it was the end times, which kind of ruined the Warhammer Fantasy for us, but never mind. Now, the reason that he's in my list of top 10 for this, my favourite models to paint, is Arcan the Black. This model was the first time I ever actually watered paint down with Lamian Medium to paint it. I did it on the white, on all the white bony bits of the model. If it's going to focus, all these white bony bits, I actually took the time to water down my paint and do it properly, and you know, the result is clearly better. I still don't always water down my paints, because if I'm painting just loads of troops, it does take longer and I can't really be bothered. But by painting this model like that, it showed me the benefit of watering your paints down. Well, Lamian mediuming your paints down, I should say. And it was, it was a big model to paint, which always feels satisfying to finish painting a big model. And I'd always really liked the Arcan the Black character as well. I read the entire Nagash series of books, and Arcan the Black in it is just really cool. He's just really cool. He's a complete prick, but he's really cool, and I think that kind of gave me an affinity to the model as well. So yeah, that's why he's in number 5. Oops, I might have just accidentally given you a hint of who the other ones are. Number 4 is my Isabella von Karsten model. Oops, just drop her. So I'm getting a nice close up again. I got a photo of this, so let's get close. There we go. Again, she's really just in here because I just love this model. I love this model a bit more than I probably should, but I just think it's really, really cool, and I really enjoyed painting her. She was really nice and simple to paint. I painted her for Mordheim, actually. She's my vampire, my Mordheim warband. But she's just so much fun, and I think it's just a perfect female vampire model. I think she just looks fantastic. First time I'd ever painted white face, the white vampire face I've done on her. I was sort of pleased at how sort of horrific she actually looks. I mean, she looks horrible in it, white, deathless eyes, that pale, bloodless face. I really feel like I pulled that off quite well on that model. So she's in at number 4. Number 3, an old favourite, the now out of production Archeon the Ever-Chosen model. Oh, that's amazing. Sad really that it doesn't exist anymore. I've got this huge monstrosity instead. So he's number 3. He's in my number 3 because he is really the first sort of character hero model I ever painted well. I'm pretty, he looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. The horse was a challenge. It was a lot of highlighting with grey, which is the first time I'd done that before as well. So again, a lot of these, there's a theme in these models. A lot of these models are ones that push my painting a little bit further. They made me think a bit more about what I was trying to do with my models. And Archeon was definitely that. I wanted him to look amazing, or at least look to the best of my painting ability. So I spent more time on the highlighting. I highlighted the red more. I think it was the first time I'd done layered highlights of various different paints. I think I even mixed paints for his red cloak. And yeah, he really pushed me that a little bit further. And he was the first character that I painted for my Warriors of Chaos army. He's number 3. Number 2, my second Moonstone model, Wipsy Boy. He's number 2 because I don't know, it's hard to say why really. He's one of my favourite models I've ever painted. He just looks ridiculous. I mean, who has sleeves like that? Who has sleeves like that? I tell you, and legs like that. But it's just, and that ridiculous of him was really fun to paint. The different highlights I had to do on the different parts of his clothing because I had 3 different colours, and I think it took me a long time to work out the colour scheme I wanted to use for him, and I ended up being really, really pleased with the result. He was one of the last of my humans that I painted, and I think he's actually the best one that I did, I have to say. And that ridiculous moustache as well. But yeah, he's just in there because he was great fun to paint, all different colours, and I could really kind of let my imagination run wild with him, really, because I can make him really, really nice and colourful, which you can't do with a lot of the other models I've got up here so far. They're all quite dark colours, and actually he really bright and colourful, which was a fun change from what I painted before. Right, number 1, you'd have seen this guy before. He's a big guy to come in. My huge 412 Great Unclean one. Oh crap, I just broke part of the base off. Damn it. Anyway, he's number 1, as in my favourite model I've ever painted. He's the first really big model that I ever painted. It took a lot of effort, a lot of time, and I think the other reason that he's in number 1 is that although it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, I enjoyed every single minute of painting this guy. I enjoyed using different coloured greens for some grooves, whereas there's some bits where I went for a brown instead, like down here. I could do the skin brown and disgusting again, and then use the Nurgle's Rot to really bring out the disgustingness of him. The only one thing I've done differently on this guy, if I did it again, is I wouldn't make his intestines red, because I just wouldn't. I don't think he would have red intestines. I don't see why he'd have iron in his blood. Sorry, I'm also a scientist. So yeah, he's my number 1. He was just so much fun to paint, and I think he still is to date my best painted model. I would say I think he's the best model I've ever painted in terms of my painting skill. I took a lot of time with the highlighting. Again, I watered my paints down with him. I did dry brushing. I did all sorts of different techniques to try and get this guy to work, and I was really pleased with the result. I would do the base again if I had the chance, because I wouldn't have it snowy. Snowy at the time was what I was doing with my Chaos Warriors, and I didn't do anything else snowy, so I wouldn't do him again. But yeah, he is my favourite. Look at the back again. Time to use a bit more angles, but yeah, he was a lot of fun to paint, and it was just the sense of achievement when I finished him, because he was just so big and cool, which is huge. So yeah, those are my 10. My polish has come on for no obvious reason. I've got the Badger, number 10, Mercury, number 9, Orc Diorama, number 8, Shaggoth, number 7, Firepit, number 6, Arcan, number 5, Isabella, 4, Archeon, 3, Fritz at 2, and this big bad boy at number 1. Any of you who've watched our videos might think, well, there's a couple of models here that I think you might be missing, like my huge 412 Bloodthirster. Why isn't he on there? He's not on there because, although he looks good, he was a chore to paint. He was a chore and a half to paint. which I didn't really enjoy it as much. So that's why he's not on here. And same with the Keeper Secrets. I kind of thought I don't want 2 huge Forge World Greater Demons in there. So, and this guy was definitely one I preferred painting out of the 3 of them. So there we go. That's my first go at a Olde Battle X top 10. Let's do that a bit further. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.